What's good, you guys? You know who it is, man. This your boy, Mr. Relentless Lex, and I'm back. Like I never left this mother. Yes, Sirski. All right, man, this is crazy. Oh, before we get into the spicy, you guys, make sure you're commenting. First of all, subscribing and tapping the like bell. Bing, it's free of charge, I promise. They charge anything, send me the invoice, and I'll pay for it. But we're trying to get to 100,000 subscribers. And the only way we can get there, if you guys are subscribing to the channel. So make sure, if it's the last thing you do on God's green earth, hit the subscription button. Thank you ever so kindly. But right now, we got Rihanna revealing that Diddy tried to force her to stay with Chris Brown even after the end of the car situation, altercation, attack. But that sounds like Diddy, don't it? It sounds like Diddy. But it say Chris' name is coming up in the Diddy lawsuit. Bro, Diddy cannot stay out of trouble, bro. He's losing all his power. And everybody is coming against him, bro. But what's done in the dark, like you guys say, comes to the light. Right? Spicy.
See, I wouldn't use my Twitter to talk about that because that's somebody else's business.
I know, but you gave them your house.
Yeah. But we're talking about Twitter. How you use Twitter, and that's something else. I'm just saying I wouldn't really Twitter about that.
So now y'all already know that there's been messy drama between Rihanna and Chris Brown since forever. But did y'all know that Diddy was all involved in this scandal from the jump? Well, the pot is boiling over yet again. And gather around because I got some scalding deets on some of the wildest accusations whirling around Diddy and his motives for reconciling Rihanna and CB. Now let's break this foolishness all the way down. Word on the streets is that Diddy arranged for a little meet and greet between Riri and CB at his Miami mansion very soon after the fateful fight night. But Riri was still sporting bruises and bandages, so why was Diddy all in the couple counseling so quickly? Now I know that Diddy loves to call himself Brother Love, but I know good and god dog well he didn't expect folks to buy that he organized this reconciliation retreat out of the kindness of his heart. Well, word on the streets is that this reunion was very suspicious and Mr. Diddy Combs had some ulterior motives. I mean, let's keep it a buck. Supposedly, he offered up this plush palace at some neutral location for the former lovebirds to make up and talk about it. But it was just too convenient if you ask me. I mean, Rihanna still had a daggone black eye, and this man had already got her pulled up in his mansion to kiss and make up with Chris Brown? Yeah, the math ain't math then.
I don't think that it's right for anybody to hit anybody at the end of the day, you know, and I don't think it's right. You know, I think that we all have to be honest with ourselves as adults and people that have been in relationships, you know. We know sometimes those relationships get ugly, you know, and sometimes it doesn't come out into the forefront the way this one has come out. And it's a lot of stones being thrown and we don't know exactly what's going on. These are two young individuals. We need to pray for them and we need to give certain support, but you don't need to start just saying that you know something that you don't know. You wasn't in that car. I wasn't in that car, and it isn't right for him to put his hands on her or her to put his hands on him. And we don't know what the problem is, but we need to pray for them and we need to do things to support them. And that's all I want to say about it.
We'll circle back.
Well, yeah, I agree on some of that stuff, Diddy. On some of the things you just said. But bro, if you see the pictures of, bro, you know how many hits it take to get all them bruises? She's a female, bro. It do not take. I do not recall Chris Brown having any marks or bruises on him. The way Rihanna's face looked, it was multiple hits. So at that time, it seemed like he just went off. It's one thing to keep somebody off of you, Diddy, but it's another thing to keep. Come on, man.
Years later, because some scalding legal documents just dropped accusing Diddy of all types of inappropriate and scandalous behavior, and it references none other than the incident between our girl Rihanna and Chris Brown. Now I know it's definitely giving messy moods, but nothing's confirmed because these allegations draw a potential connection between Diddy's alleged predatory parties and their high-profile domestic abuse cases, basically hinting that Diddy used their relationship drama to serve his own sneaky agenda. agenda. Now think about it. If any of this is true, it means that Diddy knew about Rihanna and Chris's severe dysfunction, and if he attended these ungodly ragers, he could have witnessed Chris Brown's volcanic temper firsthand. But instead of trying to protect Rihanna, he allegedly used their trauma to manipulate and reconciliation that benefited him. Now let's rewind to that tragic night back in 2009 that shook the whole music industry, and truthfully the whole gossip world down to its core. The night that Rihanna's fairy tale romance with Chris Brown took a devastating turn when Chris Brown royally popped off and assaulted this pop princess, leaving Rihanna battered, bruised, and struggling to make sense of it all. It was jaw-dropping and heart-wrenching for us fans to hear that America's sweetheart had been beaten black and blue by her own man. Now, in the dark days following, Rihanna was understandably an emotional hot mess, trying to pick up the pieces of her life, still dealing with the trauma and aftermath of Chris's explosive temper and the media. Well, enter Diddy, who took it upon himself to swoop in like Captain Save-'em and play Dr. Phil for the troubled former couple. And out of the blue, he offered up his Miami mansion as a neutral location for Rihanna and Chris to meet and apparently work through their madness. He spun it like he was doing some type of couples counseling nonsense and a chance of healing.
Because I know both of them, and it's my house, and I'm allowed to give my house to whoever I want to give my house to. That's number one. Number two is that I'm the type of person that I don't cast a stone or cast a judgment on anybody. And so if a friend or friends ask me for a favor, then I'm gonna be there for a favor as long as I know that the energy of the favor is positive for two people to sit down and talk about a situation that they're in. I'm not gonna get involved in it. I'm not gonna pass judgment on it. If I could be there as a friend during hard times, then I'm gonna be there as a friend. But I don't know the exact particulars. I didn't get into it. I'm not gonna do this or do that. It's a dark time for them, and I was there more as a support. That was it.
But I mean, let's be for real, guys. A lot of eyebrows were raised and salty looks were thrown when Diddy so generously offered up his Miami mansion to Rihanna and Chris, supposedly to give the former lovebirds a neutral place to reconcile their differences. But it happened so soon after the brutal incident that side eyes were definitely in order. I mean, come on now, the stitches had barely been removed from Rihanna's battered face before she went running back into the arms of a man who put them there in the first place, and conveniently on Diddy's Lux property real quick. Yeah, this timing is very suspect. There's no way that Rihanna was ready to hug it out and make up with Chris mere days after he darn near beat her into a coma. Nah, something in the milk ain't clean. It seems like the tragedy made her catch amnesia real quick if she was entertaining that fool again already, which brought everyone to ask the golden question: how did Diddy get in this? We knew it wasn't out of the goodness of his own heart, not buying that narrative. So there had to be some type of ulterior motive, and clearly by these messy accusations, Diddy had quite the agenda indeed. So let's get into it. According to some scalding legal documents that just dropped, Diddy may have had those ulterior motives in offering up his place for Rihanna and Chris, but ulterior more like sinister, because the docs claim that around the same time Diddy played counselor for their messy relationship, he was allegedly hosting some wild and raunchy parties. We're talking bottles, popping nonstop, drug buffets with everything from Mary Jane to crack rock, scantily dressed women of questionable age everywhere, and the whole sinful shebang was going down on these soirees at Diddy's mansion. And if you can believe, the documents even claim none other than Chris Brown himself was on the guest list for at least one of these stimulating sescapades. Scandalous. So while Diddy's out here preaching healing and reconciliation from Dr. Love's book, he's allegedly enabling Chris Brown's bad behavior and these eyes wide shut parties. Make it make sense, y'all. I couldn't make this up if I tried. Diddy was out here pretending to be the poster child for domestic violence awareness while apparently drugging up girls and young enough to be his daughters and keeping up a thriving roster of sex workers in his beck and call for these ragers. Yes, it was all types of sinful madness according to these reports. So where did Diddy even find the audacity or the gall to find time and try to do some couples counseling in between all this alleged nastiness? But as we all remember, their fairy tale romance came to a shocking and violent end when Rihanna suffered brutal injuries after Chris Brown royally popped off and dished out a beatdown that was heard around the world, leaving Rihanna bruised and struggling to make sense of it all. These gruesome details of the incident rocked the entertainment industry royally. Of course, we all had the inside scoop to the situation as it went down in 2009, but never in a million years did I think that this traumatic event would become linked to the most absolutely wild accusations now surfacing against Diddy in 2024.
An album. I took a year off straight working on this album. That album is the Love album. Off the Grid by Diddy. And it's Grammy nominated right now as we speak. I should be celebrating, but the truth is I'm not. Taking this album on has required so much time, months and at a time, 16 hours to 24 hours a day. Sometimes, Diddy will request certain works to be done and tell us don't go to sleep until it's done. And the truth is we'll be up for days trying to accomplish that. I've tried to get my business straight with them on this album, but the truth is they're not playing fair. They hit me on below the belt on so many situations. Just dealing with this. It's the contract that they give me and the offer that they gave me was just disgusting. The producer fee, pennies, and on top of that, these guys are trying to steal my publishing. I can't go for that, so I'm fighting back. He's a fighter, but I'm gonna put in this fight. I gotta do it for myself, my rights, and most importantly, my kids. Taking my publishing or stealing it I'm not gonna let that happen. Doing this situation is not easy. Taking Puff to court, suing him is not easy. I don't have the monies that it's gonna take to fight him in court. So I'm just asking, if you're in support, please, the link is in my bio to my GoFundMe.
I couldn't believe it as I tried to grasp all this messiness. The fact that Diddy may have used Rihanna's own painful history with Chris Brown as a pawn in his alleged scheming and manipulative games is almost too shocking for words. It makes me look at the man in a whole new light. The documents also claim it wasn't just Diddy engaging in all this nastiness and predatory behavior at these parties. Apparently, some of his nearest and dearest friends were getting in on this action too. It's alleged that Diddy's right-hand man Stevie J was a regular attendee at these eyed wide shut parties, getting into all sorts of shenanigans right alongside bossman Diddy. Stevie J apparently had no worries about partaking in the wild scene that often unfolded at Diddy's mansion. Even more shocking, Diddy's own flesh and blood, his son Justin Combs, is named as an active participant in these stimulating sescapades. According to the reports, Lil Justin had no problem indulging in the raunchy activities that went down whenever his daddy did one of his infamous no-holds-barred bashes. And some chick named KK, reported to be one of Diddy's assistants, is also accused of attending these sin fests and helping to set the tone. KK was apparently instrumental in planning the details, whipping these parties into a frenzy, recruiting party guests, and handling the entertainment, including the roster of working girls. There's even these new accusations from Rodney Jones, who allegedly was sexually assaulted and harassed by Diddy.
Rodney also posted this video of Diddy and his associates joking about taking his publishing. Listen to this. This is messed up.
Go ahead, because I run shit here, nigga. I run shit.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Little Rod ain't worth giving his kingdom to if we don't control his publishing. I can solve his efforts with 3 other human beings. He's eating at our table, and I like his backstory, but you need to have other people. It's hard to work with him unless we have his love. He's a piece of shit human, but we do not need his talent unless we can work with him.
So apparently,
Dang,
Rodney
bro, that's
attended
wild.
one of Diddy's coercive parties and ended up getting harassed in the worst way possible. Now, definitely our minds can wander with all these different accusations and stories that have come out about Diddy, and it looks like Rod is hiding in fear of what Diddy can potentially do to him.
Hello everyone. Until further notice, I will not be performing at any gigs or anything like that. For security reasons, my family, friends, and everyone close to me just feels like there's a lot of potential threats, and everybody's just telling me what he's allegedly capable of, and it's very scary for myself, and it has me worried about my kids, and just sleeping with anxiety and different things like that. So just moving forward, just want to pause on everything until we know that it's clear and safe for me to come back outside of work. I appreciate you all for your love and support, and everybody that knows me, etc. Thank you so much. Love.
Diddy believes he's above facing any repercussions thanks to blackmail material he's collected at these parties over the years. Supposedly, he secretly films his high-profile guests into compromising positions to use as collateral, ensuring their silence. I mean, just when you think the accusations can't get any more extreme, even more scandalous details emerge about Diddy's allegedly manipulative behavior. Now, if true, it means nothing, and no one is off limits when it comes to his maintaining control through pure scandalous means. Absolutely bone-chilling. Can y'all even believe this nasty business? I mean, can somebody open a door, let's crack a window or something, because the drama is reaching all types of boiling tea messiness. But what do y'all think about this? Now that we're seeing all these accusations, do y'all really think Diddy did it? And what do y'all think about his role in Riri and Chris Brown's reconciliation? What was his motive there? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and then check out the
Oh, man. Bro, we all know what Diddy was trying to do. He wasn't trying to counsel Rihanna and Chris Brown. He was trying to have a freak off. He was planning to have a... Bro, you got so many things going on yourself, Diddy. How can you counsel somebody else? And you can't hardly keep a woman, or they end up unalived or anything, bro. Or coming forth saying they've been battered by you. How can you counsel somebody who's done the same thing that you're doing? You was trying to lure Rihanna in by Chris Brown, the whole situation, to have a freak off before she be done with y'all forever. Now, I'm pretty sure y'all all partied together before, and I'm pretty sure Rihanna, I'm thinking she never probably participate in the freak off stuff with you. Rihanna seemed like a way more classier lady than that type of lady. But you try to bait her in. You just a butt monster, bro. Diddy, you're done, bro. You're doomed, bro. Everything, you might as well hang it up, bro. You might as well hang it up, Diddy.